all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
When you think water, think Aquamax. Aquamax, healthy drinking water. A product from Californian Beverages.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Mom, this boy is a handful.
As if you were any different.
Then what about a memory? A lifetime of stories. Wash away the dirt and not the memories with Boom Bubble Plus washing powder.
Let the memories fade away.
Boom, and the dirt is gone.
Introducing the Smart Kicker from iConnect, the most affordable smartphone on the market. With a follow focus capable 2-megapixel camera, you can't miss out on any of the action. Over 400 hours of standby battery time and 32 gig external memory. That's more than enough space for all your series, music, pics, apps and games. Get yours today from iConnect for a limited offer of only 499 kwacha, including 300 MB iSpot internet from iConnect. The Smart Kicker, available at iConnect. iConnect, make it happen.
The big day, everybody, and tonight we'll witness history in the making, y'all. Maki 2 all the way from Kokopala versus Slapdizzle my nizzle. The moment you've all been waiting for. Maki 2 versus Slapdizzle.
Here's what you all been missing. Monster flows, fire flows, Mungamu kitchen. Flavor ikupa so can you upon a decision. Bigger than us, me and you and the mission.
Yo, Biggie Man International, you man got the but they have to know. Nobody on the corner got swagger like us, but everyone is bigger than us.
This moment is bigger than us.
Is bigger than us.
Both of us, me and you, is bigger than us. Bigger than us.
Monster Pops are not just big, they're monster big. Try out our Wacky Fusion, Magic Forest, Tongue Painter, and Black Forest. Monster Pops, the biggest pop in town.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness.
A warm welcome to Prime TV's main news. Thank you so much for making your time with us. And to begin, we look at the headlines. ACC keeps faith in Roswin Wandi. NGOCC calls for a referendum before 2016 general elections. Government happy with CSO's role in management of natural resources. And in foreign news, Egyptian authorities using sexual violence on a massive scale. For details on these and other stories, stay tuned. With the news in detail, my name is Daniel Tonga. The Anti-Corruption Commission has responded to the letter written by National Revolution Party President Dr. Cosmo Mumba demanding for the resignation of ACC Director General Roswin Wandi. ACC Board Chairperson Timothy Kabalata told a media briefing that the board has high regard and confidence in the Director General and sees no reason for her to step down. Justice Kabalata has since dismissed as irresponsible calls by Dr. Mumba to have Ms. Wandi to resign. He says the board remains confident and resolute that the Director General, management and staff of ACC are on a firm ground and have performed well in executing the mandate of the Commission. Justice Kabalata says the board will continue providing support and necessary guidance as required.
The Director General is a professional of high integrity, and the board has very high regard and confidence in her leadership and management of the affairs of the Commission. The Commission is conscious of the need to safeguard national security and will ensure that this is upheld at all times. As such, the alleged leakage of classified information to the media is currently being investigated by the Zambia Police Service. Therefore, we do not understand the basis upon which Reverend Mumba made the conclusion that leakage came from the Commission and the Director General in particular.
The Non-Governmental Organization Coordinating Council, NGOCC, has called on government to rescind its decision to take constitutional amendments to Parliament and ensure that a national referendum is held before the 2016 general elections. NGOCC Board Chairperson Sarah Longwe says the decision by government to take the constitution to Parliament is a total disregard of people's expectations. Ms. Longwe says PF government has clearly demonstrated that it lacks a political commitment to facilitate the enactment of a people-driven constitution. She says the PF government must listen to people's constant demands for the enactment of a new constitution before 2016. Ms. Longwe says the country has enough time to hold a referendum before the 2016 general elections.
NGOCC is deeply saddened and shocked with the Patriotic Front and the President Edgar Lungu for betraying the Zambian people on the constitution-making process. By enacting a constitution amendment in a phased manner, the PF and President Lungu are disregarding the wishes of the Zambian people, who have consistently insisted that the new constitution must be adopted through a popular mode. During all the successful constitution-making process, the Zambian people have been consistent in demanding that they want to give unto themselves a constitution which should be adopted through a national referendum. But while the PF government has continued to change goalposts over the enactment of a new constitution.
National Union for Small-Scale Farmers of Zambia says the call by government to ban the importation of processed foodstuffs in the country is long overdue. Union Director of Administration and Finance, Emma Kauma, says it is high time that the government realized that it has the machines and materials needed to supply shops with foodstuffs from within the country. Mr. Kauma notes that Zambia is still developing and products can still be allowed in the country while local farmers supply foodstuffs to chain stores. He says it is disappointing that even at 50, Zambia can be importing sliced chips into the country for sale when people in Zambia can be able to slice potatoes. Gwen Wheeler now gives us more in the following report.
President Edgar Lungu recently directed supermarkets in the country to also retail Zambian-grown agriculture and other local produce. President Lungu further warned the supermarkets of stringent actions if they fail to adhere to the directive. The directive is most likely expected to empower small-scale farmers in the country. But the National Union for Small-Scale Farmers of Zambia says the call by government to ban the importation of processed foodstuff in the country is long overdue. NUSFA's Director for Administration and Finance, Emma Kauma, has since called on government to ensure that local foods are prioritized.
There has never been a political will, because this is a policy issue. Surely in this time and the age, 50 years after independence, we should be importing rape, surely. We should be importing cabbage. And day in, day out, we hear, you know, these government leaders making pronouncements. No, we want to support SMEs. We want to support, you know, small-scale farmers to practice their activities as a business. And if we get serious in that direction, I'm sure we'll move accordingly, because I mean we can't allow the situation that is happening now, and this has been going on for a very long time.
Each year the Zambian government spends more than $12 million towards the importation of processed foodstuffs, a situation that can be avoided if policies are put in place to ensure that local products are sold in supermarkets countrywide. Gwen Wheeler reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
Opposition United Party for National Development UPND Special Advisor to the President Edward Mumbi has advised political parties in the country to respect each other, reacting to sentiments by Information Minister Chishimba Kambwili that former UPND Vice President for Administration Richard Kapita defected because of tribalism in the UPND. Mr. Mumbi says such sentiments should not be tolerated. He says such sentiments will only promote tribalism in the country, adding that it is unfortunate that a chief government spokesperson, Chishimba Kambwili, could utter such remarks. Mr. Mumbi says Mr. Kambwili must tone down and refrain from issuing tribal statements. He was speaking at a media briefing held at the party secretariat in Lusaka.
If people stood and we wanted to challenge them, I was the Secretary General. I can tell you, some of them we can even call them fools, just by their status. It's a challenge. If they want, they should challenge. We should know which station do they stand. The point is that let us respect each other in terms of political arguments. We should not rush to tribe. After Chishimba Kambwili, even if he talks about a tribe, does the tribal member give you education? No. Nothing but the education that he can argue a matter. Let Chishimba Kambwili argue about serious issues. Yes. He's our brother. We don't want to despise him much. But if the challenge of these elections or the running of these political parties will be based on the personalities, is no match. And
Meanwhile, a UPND spokesperson Charles Kakoma has clarified that UPND President Hakainde Hichilema will continue with a tour of markets and other places. Mr. Kakoma has, however, indicated that his party will ensure that they notify the police before embarking on any such exercise.
Has his program been curtailed by the police and so on and so forth? I want to state very clearly that President Hakainde Hichilema will continue to enjoy his rights and freedoms as enshrined in the Constitution of Zambia, which Honorable Gavin Kongo has just read out. He will continue to enjoy his freedom of movement, and in this regard, President Hakainde Hichilema will continue to visit any part of Zambia and to interact with anybody in this country.
We now take our first break. Stay with us if you can for other interesting stories coming up.
It starts with a single seed. Patience. Dedication. Attention to detail.
I'ma sip it up. Everybody sipping, I'ma sip.
It's here. I'ma sip my hell. Eat well, drink well, feel good.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
When you think water, think Aquamax. Aquamax, healthy drinking water. A product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch. Fun. Style. Freshness. Great taste. It's here. It's fun. It looks cool. And it tastes great. Are you ready?
Shake, 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 shake and sip.
Introducing Shake and Sip, the new irresistibly smooth fruity milk.
Welcome back, and now other local stories. Government says it recognizes the role civil society organizations play in management of natural resources. Ministry of Lands Acting Permanent Secretary Peggy Chilwa says civil society organizations supplement government's efforts in creating awareness and capacity building at community level on issues of sustainable natural resources management. Ms. Chilwa says Zambia faces daunting environmental threats and challenges which include climate change, hence the need for concerted efforts. She says the country is faced with environmental challenges because 62% of people who live within rural areas heavily depend on natural resources for their livelihood. Ms. Chilwa was speaking during the launch of the protection support to civil society organizations in environmental and natural resources management in Zambia Phase 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, Zambia faces daunting environmental threats and challenges, which include climate change, deforestation, land degradation, loss of biological diversity, wildlife depletion, and environmental pollution, among others. In addition, 62% of our people live within the rural areas and depend heavily on natural resources for their livelihood. This dependence on natural resources for livelihood in itself leads to environmental degradation, which then inevitably perpetuates poverty. Poverty has been compounded by limited understanding of environmental problems, a weak administrative framework, and breakdown of traditional values and practices, which
Young Women Christian Association YWCA has called for concerted efforts in the fight against gender-based violence. Association President Lucy Lungu says the fight against gender-based violence needs efforts from all stakeholders. Ms. Lungu says her organization has taken an approach of engaging men in their sensitization programs. She says men should also be sensitized on matters to do with gender-based violence as they are part of the problem. Ms. Lungu observes that the country has a huge task of ensuring that GBV is brought under control. She says no efforts should be spared in the fight, adding that the fight should start from the communities.
Campaign against gender-based violence. However, we think that we need to do much more. So through the various strategies that we've come up with, one of them is to target the men. We are putting that as a priority because it is at that level where we understand that the men are still the ones who are actually perpetrating this violence. Secondly, we are also enhancing our campaign through the leadership in terms of traditional and even political leaders, because we've seen that the political violence is also there as a result of the political leaders. So in short, we continue to enhance awareness raising, we continue to advocate, looking at the various pieces of the law to see where the weaknesses are, and then continue to lobby for the quick enhancement or even for the of the issues in the gender-based violence.
MMD Diehard National Coordinator Bowman Lusambo has charged that opposition political parties in the country lack visionary leaders. Mr. Lusambo has attributed the defection of members of opposition political parties to the ruling party to lack of vision by opposition leaders. Mr. Lusambo, however, says the defections have no bearing on the country's democracy. He says most opposition political party members are forced to defect to the ruling party due to selfishness and lack of leadership skills being exhibited by some opposition leaders. Mr. Lusambo has further noted that the defection of Richard Kapita from the UPND to the ruling PF shows that President Lungu is leading the country well.
It is not true. You know, politics is about numbers. You know, the thing which is killing the opposition in our country is lack of vision. We are not giving hope to the people of Zambia, those who will be voters. Opposition with a proper manifesto, I don't think if it can be disturbed with the defection. The defection, they are happening on personal levels. They are not happening at political party levels. They are on personal levels. So we as the opposition, our job is to go back to our people and give the information of hope to who be voters.
Child rights activist Sawoi Imboela says if a girl falls pregnant while in school, both the girl and the boy must be sent home in accordance with the re-entry policy. Ms. Imboela observes that in most cases only girls are stopped from going to school during pregnancy, which she says is unfair. She points out that this will help reduce the number of girls falling pregnant while in school. Ms. Imboela was responding to calls from some traditional leaders for schools to apply the re-entry policy fairly as opposed to only chasing girls from schools.
Policy in its current form, you discover that that's how it is supposed to be implemented. You know, when a schoolboy impregnates a schoolgirl, they are supposed to be chased from school. You know, the both of them. You know, until the girl delivers. You know, and then they are both ready to come to school. What that does is that it shows all the other boys to say this is a crime, in inverted commas, that we should not do. And also when both of them are out of school, they encourage each other. Because you find that the boy normally wants to go back to school earlier than a girl. You know, it is when you're a mother. You just want to look after your child and stuff like that. But if they're both home, the boy, you find that starts encouraging the girl that they go back to school, you know. And the sad part about it is that most schools are actually not implementing that, you know. So what the traditional leaders said is actually what the government and the people that came up with the re-entry policy came up with. Some people might argue, you know, to say that if they chase both of them, then who's going to look after the child? But you should know that as school boys and girls, they both won't look after the child. They're both going to be taken care of by the parents, you know. And then in a pregnancy, as we all might know, you know, the process takes two to tango. You know, this is really a situation whereby it takes two to tango. So once that problem has been committed, both of them really needs to go out. They really have to go out as a form of punishment.
The Zambia Medical Association has called for more sensitization on cancer that can affect men. ZMA President Dr. Aaron Mujajati says little has been done concerning sensitization on cancer that affects men compared to women. He observes that this is because breast and cervical cancer is more rampant with women, but even so, there is need for more sensitization. Dr. Mujajati notes that there is need for men to be more aware of cancer diseases as they are equally at risk. He further added that all cancers can be treated if detected early, and people should take up the challenge of screening for cancer every 3 years.
I do not think that we have done enough in raising awareness with regards to cancers that affect men in this country. We've mostly talked about cervical cancer, breast cancer, and cancers generally that affect women. But you may be interested to know that cancers do not choose. They affect the whole spectrum of human existence, from babies to the elderly, to the middle-aged, to the young. So there are cancers basically in every age group. But probably the reason it appears as though other cancers are not being talked about much in public discourse is probably because of the numbers. Because you never know when you get a cancer. And the thing about cancer is that if it is caught early, it's 100% curable. If it's found early and it can be removed, it's 100% curable. For men, digital rectal examination very important, especially men after a certain age, because the prostate keeps growing. Self-breast examination is very important for women as well, because these are cancers we can detect early, and if they're detected early, they are almost avoidable.
We're now taking our second break, and after the break, Egyptian authorities using sexual violence on a massive scale and other stories.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience for freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Mom, can I help you to cook?
No. Remember what I always tell you? Wash your hands.
Okay.
Whoa.
Dad, this is a germ-free zone. Go, wash your hands.
Good personal hygiene is important at all times. That's why medical experts recommend Romeo Plus medicated soap. It eradicates over 97% of harmful germs. Healthy families use Romeo Plus medicated soap. Romeo Plus medicated soap. Love, care, protect.
Shake, 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 shake and sip. Shake, delicious and healthy. Shake and sip, shake, for you and your family. Nutrition and energy. Your food is tasty, yeah.
Yonsuna yowama yotelela mushi ilina ma flavor yosiyana yonseni ya bwino anso ibasa mpamvu kosataya ndawi yesa shake and see yokumwana banjana anzako onsipasako ambuye na makolo ako ilimbisa tu ikondwesa ana kosataya ndawi yesa shake and see.
Shake and sip when fresh meets fruity.
Welcome back now in foreign news. Egyptian security forces are using sexual violence against detainees on a massive scale, according to the International Federation for Human Rights. A report by the organization suggests men, women and children are being abused to eliminate a public protest. Many are subjected to virginity tests, rape and gang rape after arrest. Egypt's Interior Ministry said it would not comment until it had studied the report. The study notes a surge in sexual violence after the Egyptian military takeover in July 2013. The perpetrators are rarely held to account, and the impunity points to a cynical political strategy aimed at silencing all opposition. And finally, in our news, at least 5 people have been killed by a bomb in the parking lot of Afghan's Justice Ministry building in Kabul, according to several officials. Reuters news agency reported, citing Siddiqui, spokesperson for the Interior Ministry, that 5 people were dead and several more wounded in Tuesday's blast. It was the 5th major attack in the Afghan capital in a little more than 2 weeks. 4 men and 1 woman were killed. Muhammad Ayub Salangi, Afghan's deputy interior minister, told AFP news agency that the body of one of the victims was torn in pieces. The blast occurred just hours after Afghan court sentenced 11 police officers to 1-year jail term for their roles in the mob killing of a woman in Kabul in March. For these and other stories, we did monitor Al Jazeera in the following reports.
11 Afghan police officers have been sentenced to a year in prison for failing to help a woman who was attacked and killed by a mob. The 27-year-old, known only as Fakunda, was accused of burning the Quran. 8 other officers went free. Yemen's exiled President Abd Rabbu Mansur Hadi will address a conference in Riyadh shortly, where political and tribal figures have been discussing the conflict. Saudi-led airstrikes are continuing across Yemen after a 5-day humanitarian ceasefire ended on Sunday. The United Nations says close to 25,000 people have fled the Iraqi city of Ramadi after ISIL fighters took control of it on Monday. ISIL released this video of what appears to be Ramadi after it was captured. Thousands of Shia militias are now at a nearby military base preparing a counter-offensive. The European Union is set to launch a military force next month to deal with the migrant crisis. At a meeting in Brussels, EU ministers approved a plan to deploy warships and surveillance aircraft to target gangs smuggling people from Libya across the Mediterranean into Europe. The former Thai Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra has pleaded not guilty at the start of her trial. She's accused of dereliction of duty for her role in a controversial rice subsidy scheme. If found guilty, she faces a maximum prison sentence of 10 years. Yingluck says the charges against her are politically motivated.
Yes, I feel confident to present. So we hope that everything will be followed by the due process and rule of law. Thank you.
In southwest China, more than 100 people were injured after fighting broke out during a protest over a high-speed railway line bypass. The protest began after reports said the railway will bypass Ninshui in Sichuan province. Video posted on social media appeared to show fights with police. US biker gang members are reported to be heading to Waco in Texas after a restaurant shootout left 9 people dead and 18 wounded. At least 170 gang members have been arrested and charged with engaging in organized crime. Police say they've received threats and are warning of a revenge attack.
And as we conclude the news, we now take a look at what made the headlines. ACC keeps faith in Roswin Wandi. NGOCC calls for a referendum before 2016 general elections. Government happy with CSO's role in management of natural resources. And in foreign news, Egyptian authorities using sexual violence on a massive scale. And that does it for our news. On behalf of the news team, thank you so much for making your time with us. This has been Daniel Tonga. Bye-bye for now.
When you think water, think Aquamax. Aquamax, healthy drinking water. A product from Californian Beverages.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Mom, this boy is a handful.
As if you were any different. Then what about a memory? lifetime of stories. Wash away the dirt and not the memories with Boom Bubble Plus washing powder.
Let the memories fade away.
Boom, and the dirt is gone.
You see, I have never fought with a lion. I have never hunted through the forest in pursuit of food. But I do have the fighting spirit. Because for decades, my people fought for freedom. And in 1964, we won. I love to do the Fwemba, the Kalela, the Kwasa Kwasa. I wear Chitenge. So does my girlfriend. I eat crisps, not crisps. I love Nsima, Kapenta, Chihuahua, Delele. I'm Josh, and I'm proud to be Zambian.
iConnect, celebrating 50 years of Zambia's independence. Hashtag #OnlyFazed. iConnect, make it happen.
It starts with a single seed. Patience. Dedication. Attention to detail.
I'ma sip, sip, sip it up. Everybody sipping, I'ma sip my hell.
It's here. I'ma sip my hell. Eat well, drink well, feel good.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch. Fun. Style. Freshness. Great taste. It's here. It's fun. It looks cool. And it tastes great. Are you ready?
Shake, 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 shake and sip.
Introducing Shake and Sip, the new irresistibly smooth fruity milk.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. ZESCO, powering the nation.